Braves Morning Update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves start a 3-game set against the Rangers. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is your Braves Radio Network Morning Update.
Get clean car happy all season long at Tidal Wave with exclusive membership discounts, giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for more information.
The Braves dropped a 3-game set to the Giants and a 3-game set to the Yankees on the previous homestand. They dropped to 26-26 at home this season. They'll look to get back on the winning track tonight in Arlington, Texas, against the Texas Rangers. Nathan Eovaldi, the veteran, going for the Rangers. He's 7-3, has a 1.58 ERA this season, 94 strikeouts, and an 0.85 whip. Joey Wentz going for the Braves. He's 2-1. Has a 5.71 ERA and 36 strikeouts, of course. This 9-game road trip includes the trade deadline. We'll see if the Braves make any moves between now and August 1st. For leadoff show coming your way, 6:50 Eastern, 5:50 Central. First pitch against the Rangers, 8:05 Eastern, 7:05 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
This is the Slate, presented by VIP Play.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
I should explain to you exactly what it is that I do.
This is like the luck of the Irish, only I'm not Irish.
Changing 500. I think I want my money back.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Welcome in. It's the Slate, presented by VIP Play with Max Pennell and Jeremy Inslee. I'm William Pattison. We appreciate you listening along with us on this fine Friday from Knoxville, Tennessee. Plenty to cover over the next hour, including our NFC North betting preview. We have done division by division NFL betting previews over the last 2 weeks, and we wrap it up today with the NFC North, which is primed to be one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL. So happy to dive into that today. We'll also have some picks from Max, who is on fire as of late. Undefeated this week. I hope I'm not jinxing him, but he'll have an MLB play. We'll talk about that, and then we'll get into specifically each team's win total. Will they go over or under in the NFC North? And at the very end, we'll tell you which team we are betting on for the futures to win the division. So plenty to cover on this fine Friday edition. We'll welcome in the rest of the crew. Max, how are you doing behind the board?
Doing all right, William. Definitely excited for the weekend. Excited to talk some NFC North, put a bow on these division previews that we've been doing. We're excited to talk some with Jeremy as well. Nice to have him in the studio again today. And hopefully Tyler's listening out there. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know if I'll put money on it, but if you are, what's up, Tyler?
And Jeremy, how are you?
Oh, man, I'm doing excellent. My final day of my summer camp.
Okay.
And I made it through. Oh, my goodness. It feels good. So now I'm ready to get in here, talk some sports with my boys, and hopefully I'll be able to see more of you all as my schedule changes. Hopefully I'll be able to get in here some more with you all, man. So I'm looking forward to see what the future holds for me.
Well, good. It sounds like a plan. Happy to have you in here on this fine Friday. Let's dive right into the action. We'll begin with our NFC North betting preview, and with the NFL season largely offseason, that is, largely in the rearview mirror. Teams are starting to gear up for 2025. Training camp started this week. Teams have reported. There have already been plenty of headlines and stuff to talk about. And as the NFL moves forward, so do we. And in order to do so, we have to turn to the over and under win totals to try and gauge which NFL team is more likely to go over or under. And we've done the AFC. We've done almost all of the NFC. Today we wrap it up with the NFC North. And the NFC North was literally one of the best divisions in NFL history in 2024, with 3 different teams logging at least 11 wins en route to the playoffs. And there's no reason to believe that this group won't be successful once again this upcoming season. The Chicago Bears were the lone team that missed the postseason last year, but since then, they've overhauled quarterback Caleb Williams' supporting cast, including atop the coaching staff, bringing fresh hope to the Windy City. The Detroit Lions have improved their win total every season since Dan Campbell's arrival as head coach in 2021, ascending to the NFC's #1 seed in January. And the Green Bay Packers have made the playoffs in 5 of the last 6 seasons. And then there's the Minnesota Vikings, who have won at least 13 games in 2 of Coach Kevin O'Connell's 3 running the show, giving the Midwest an annual spoiler. And we dive into what we make of this division after this offseason. And once again, I believe that this will be the best division, the most competitive division in the NFL, where every single one of these teams I could see winning. And there's not a lot of divisions, really. There's no other division we can really say that. When you look at what the Bears did, they add Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams entering year 2. They added more depth on the offensive line. They added more weapons through the draft, guys like Luther Burden and Colston Loveland. Those are a couple of additions to this offensive weaponry. My question is, does Caleb Williams, a little bit more of a backyard football player, mesh with a more schematic guy in Ben Johnson? For the Packers, can they stay healthy throughout the entirety of this season? Jordan Love had a lot of expectations heading into last season, and it was a little bit of an up and down trajectory throughout last year. Now, if he's able to be fully healthy, is this a Packers team that can contend once again in the NFC? For the Lions, I've been very outspoken. I think they got a little bit worse, and they're a little bit overrated heading into this year with the absence of Aaron Glenn, a really strong defensive coordinator, and offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. I think Dan Campbell's a great motivator, but is he the guy that can take him to the next level? Finally, the Vikings, a very underrated team in the NFC. I like J.J. McCarthy. They're going to be some growing pains with that, having a new quarterback, but it's still a very talented roster. Overall, this is the best division in the NFL. Really excited to dive into it today. Max, what do you make of this division after this offseason?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to talk it as well, because I think all 3 of us could have a different answer for who we think wins this division. And I think there's a strong case to be made for each team's over-under. Other teams, you're kind of trying to find a reason to believe or a reason to say they'll regress. I think there's tangible reasons for both sides for all these teams. A ton of good coaches in this division, which is always fun to watch. Kind of the chess matches between these two. And there's a reason this division sent 3 teams to the playoff last year. And then the other team probably made the best hire in the offseason and has a former #1 pick at quarterback. So you could really talk me into all 3 of these teams. Kind of interested to hear where you guys lay on some of these teams. And yeah, excited to talk about it. And for me, I think the big question mark in this division is, what do you have in the young quarterbacks in Caleb Williams and J.J. McCarthy? Is Caleb Williams lives up to his billing with a new head coach, and that's a team that could really take a big leap in his second year. Or is he someone that we saw more of, his rookie pains bleed over into year 2? And then for J.J. McCarthy, basically got a redshirt year. Yeah. But he's in as good a situation as you could ask for a young quarterback. How does he do in that situation? Does he continue the lineage of Kevin O'Connell quarterbacks? So a lot of question marks and a lot of upside in this division.
Jeremy.
Yeah, this will still continue to be one of their stronger divisions in football. I don't think they will be quite as strong as they were last year, with one team having a 15-win season and then 2 others going 10+. But this will still be a very competitive division, to say nonetheless. Like you all said with the Bears, with the addition of Ben Johnson, getting Caleb some high-end draft picks on the offensive side. Look for them to be better, but I still think there will be growing pains with Caleb as he enters into year 2. The Lions, they should still be good. They should still be competitive, they won't be as strong as, per se, a 15-win team. They'll it'll probably still end up being double digits. But the losses of Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson will hurt to some degree, maybe not to the degree I believe William thinks that it would definitely be, but that would hurt some. The Packers, I think, have done something that I think a lot of people aren't taking notice of. I think they're trying to catch deja vu in a sense, trying to recapture what they did in their last Super Bowl run with Aaron Rodgers. So that's something I'm kind of looking forward to trying to get into and talk about. But yeah, I still think that this will end up being a strong division, and excited to see what you all think where these win totals will be.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll dive into it on the other side. Also have a pick from Max in the MLB, trying to follow up what has been an undefeated week on the books. No pressure, Max. We'll break it down when we return right here on Fan Run Radio.
Ready to launch your career? Axle Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axle proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axle, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axle Logistics is the place to start your career.
Whether you are buying or selling a home or even looking for some land to build on and start a family, be sure to give Reed Emerson with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Heritage Group a shout. He is a longtime listener and supporter of Fan Run and has been serving the Mid-State for many years. Reed prides himself on his hassle-free and honest approach, and that's because he's not just chasing another commission. He wants what is best for his clients. Give Reed Emerson a call or text him today to get the process started. His number is 931-492-0418, or you can find him online at bhgheritagegroup.com.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Sick of Googling the best bets for tonight and coming up short? Tap into the Slate, presented by VIP Play, East Tennessee's only on-air gambling show. I'm William Pattison, and every weekday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm giving you sharp analysis, trends, and picks for college football, the NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. If it's on the books, we've got you covered. It's the Slate, presented by VIP Play, weekdays at 6 on Fan Run Radio.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game, Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
All right, back here on the Slate, presented by VIP Play. Max Pennell, Jeremy Inslee, William Pattison joining you on this fine Friday. Before we continue with the NFC North, we've got some business to attend to. Max is undefeated on the week, delivering his MLB picks for the night. Let's max out our winnings, presented by VIP Play. Live always, 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, and options. Have a bet in mind that you can't find on any other sports book. The VIP Play team will create it for you. Make sure you're checking the specials page daily, and also keep an eye out for some boost, as you can boost your odds with the MLB, whatever it may be, golf, whatever you're into. You can find some boost on VIP Play. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. We'll swing it over to Max. What you got?
Yeah, no pressure on me now, William.
Yeah, gosh, I've only said it like 5 times.
Yeah, now watch. It's hopefully it doesn't jinx me. But yeah, 5-0 week. Let's try and make it a perfect 7 for 7. I got a 2-pack for the people tonight to take us into the weekend. Going to start off the first game. This is at 7:15, so you got an hour to lock this in. Heading back to St. Louis, where we cashed the over last night in the second inning. That was nice. I was helping with a moving job for my girlfriend and was able to just put my phone away fairly early. And after the second inning, didn't have to sweat that one while helping her move. So
there you go.
Going back to the well, we're going Padres money line tonight in St. Louis. This is just a fade Miles Mikolas play for me. This guy is one of, if not the worst starting pitcher in Major League Baseball, especially as of late. You know, the clock's kind of struck midnight on him. He got off to a better start than I think most people anticipated. Everyone, knows he's not a very good pitcher, but he's come back down to earth. In his last 7 starts, he's an astonishing 1-5 with a 7.32 ERA. I mean, some of the pitches looked like he's throwing batting practice. I mean, it's just an 89-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone. He's getting hit left and right. Cardinals keep trotting him out there because they owe him a ton of money. I genuinely feel bad for the guy a little bit, but if we feel bad for him, let's have him make us some money for us in return. So 1-5, 7.32 ERA last 7 starts. And then he's opposed by Nick Pivetta, who's been a great signing for the Padres, and he's been the polar opposite of Miles Mikolas. 2.81 ERA and a 1 whip on the season. And as of late, a 1.67 ERA with 4 wins in his last 7 starts. So he's come on strong as the summer's kicked off. And Padres also, for whatever it's worth, fare better as a team against righties as well. Mikolas is a right-hander. So this is strictly just based in the pitching matchup here. It's Mikolas versus Pivetta. Doesn't get more lopsided than that. I'll take San Diego at -125. And the second play of the night, going to Houston for this one, Astros money line -130. It's Brian Gusto versus Jeffrey Springs. And I've said on this show multiple times, I believe this will be the 5th time I've done it. And so far we're 4-0. Astros money line against left-handed pitching. I've mentioned it multiple times. Their lineup is right-handed dominant. They have 1 lefty batter on their whole roster. So, yeah, they see a little bit of a decline against righties, but they mash left-handed pitching. 7.81 OPS for southpaws. Going back to the well again tonight as Springs is a southpaw. And A's batters as well against Astros starter Brian Gusto are 0 for 13 lifetime. So he has a solid track record and a minimal sample size against the Athletics. And Astros also playing this one at home at the comfort of Minute Maid Park, where they have been one of the best home teams in Major League Baseball, tops in the American League with a .623 home winning percentage. They lose last night to the A's. I think they bounce back. The pitching matchup favors them. They face another lefty, which they have crushed all season. I think this line, I would have it at more of a 150. I know it's a little bit juice, but I just think you're getting better value here than what this should be, considering these teams, the Astros are a 20-win better team than the Athletics as well. So 2 plays tonight, trying to get the 7-0. Might have to pop some champagne if that happens tonight. So Padres money line, Astros money line. Let's try and go 7 for 7.
All right, that's Max Out Your Winnings presented by VIP Play. Go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. When you make your first bet of $5 or more, you'll get $100 instantly in bonus bets by using the code FANRUN. That is FANRUN in all caps to claim those bonus bets. And new and more convenient deposit and withdrawal methods are coming soon. And the next VIP Play app update will be a great one. So make sure you're checking the app. Also, use that code FANRUN, all caps. It helps us out. And it will help you out too. $100 free in bonus bets. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. All right, let's swing it to the Detroit Lions to kick things off in the NFC North. The Lions are looking to prove that talent can withstand coaching turnover. Gone are both Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, the top assistants to the ultra-aggressive Dan Campbell, leaving quarterback Jared Goff to bounce back from an early playoff exit. And now you've got John Morton, who's holding an NFL OC title for the first time in 8 years, and he's still got the line and the weapons to do so. Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta. It's the same star-studded cast, but the defense is now missing Aaron Glenn. Will they be able to be as strong as they were last season with the absences of guys like Carlton Davis in their secondary? A secondary, by the way, that was up and down at times last year. Aiden Hutchinson returning from injury. What does he look like fully healthy now after what was a serious injury? So Look, like the rest of the North, the Lions are not going to have an easy schedule, having to go up against all these teams. I teeter back and forth here on this 10.5 number because I do believe the Lions are about an 11-win team. I think they're regressing from last year. I don't think they're going to win 15. If they win 15 again this year, then I'm just an idiot. But I kind of go back and forth. I want to lean under, but I go over here because the odds on VIP play give me plus 105. I don't want to take minus 130 of juice on the under for a team that is coming off a 15-win season, and they just have to get to 11 wins. So I'm going to lean the over here at 10.5 at plus 105 on VIP play. I still think this is a good team. I don't think they're the level of a contender as they were last year without Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Max, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, I think that's a fair approach to take when it comes to the Lions. I also think just a 15-win pace is not sustainable in the NFL.
No,
unless you have Tom Brady on the sidelines, it's really, that's a once in a generation type season Detroit had last year. They're due to regress. It's just the way the NFL works. And yeah, I think the division got a little more competitive for them as well. Still a good division last year, but I think the Bears will be a little better. I think the Packers are a little more formidable as well. So I think it's totally right to see them take a step backwards. Now, the question is how far? Is it a 5-win regression? Is it a 3-win regression? For me, I am taking the under, and I'm right there with you. I think this is still a 10-win team, possibly 9. The schedule is really difficult. The other night, I actually went through and picked every week of the NFL season just to kind of see how is my brain lined up with the picks I've been giving out. And I had them right at 10-7, and they needed a win in week 18 to get there. And that's no slight at them. I still think it's a team that can win the Super Bowl, but they're just going to be one of those teams that, they might have to do it via wild card, but they're one of those teams that you don't want to play in January. But I think you lose your 2 coordinators. I think there's always a little bit of a hangover too sometimes when you have a great regular season like that. It's hard to get back up and do it all over again for 17 games starting in September. I think Goff is good, but what will he be without Ben Johnson? We've seen him go through some lulls in his career, and he reached some really high highs with Ben Johnson. How does he look now with Mark Brunell calling the plays? The offensive line lost 2 starters kind of late as well with Radnow retiring after the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that's hard to replace. Tate Ratledge is going to try and do it at center. Rookie centers, generally, historically, it's one of the tougher positions to come in and play right away in the NFL. There's so much you have to handle as the leader of communication on the offensive line. And yeah, they get Hutchinson back, but I still think this defense lost some pieces, especially in the secondary. They bring back Kirby Joseph, Terry Arnold. I'm still not totally sold on him. This is a good team. It's a playoff caliber team. It's not an 11+ win team to me. I think they take a minor step back, and doesn't mean they still can't make noise come January or February. I don't think it's a 15-win season nearly again. And placing 2 guys in the offensive line is tough. And 2 coordinators. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, Jeremy.
For me, the under will probably end up being the safest bet, but only right at 10. So there's really some gray area as to can they hit 11? I think it is possible, but I would feel more comfortable at 10. For me, it's the first half of their season that is just rough. I mean, you're at Packers, Bears, at the Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Chiefs, Buccaneers. Then you're after the bye, you got the Vikings. So, William, to your point, we will get to see the impact that either Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson were, or the impact that Dan Campbell is with the first half of this season. I believe that Dan Campbell, as being a motivator, I think he can still propel this team to probably end up playing outside of themselves and end up being more than what you think they are. But where I think the drawback would be with losing Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson is having those dominant wins that you've seen the Detroit Lions being able to do last year, being able to put Jared Goff in more favorable positions with the ball and stuff. I think that's something that Ben Johnson was good with Goff, being able to the protection that he had was good, but being able to give him clear, decisive throws at each level.
Yeah.
So that's my thought with the Lions. They'll still be good. Losing Carlton Davis, it is a blow. I'm actually kind of high on Terry Arnold, not because of his.
Well, I wonder why, Jeremy. I wonder why.
Not just because of his college background, but I think he is a real good fit with the Lions, and he fits kind of what the Lions have become. Their offense, if they will still be dynamic. I mean, like you mentioned before, having Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, having Jamison Williams, so they will still be explosive. So they will still be a tough out for a bunch of teams. I just don't think the margin of victory that they had last year will come into play a lot this year.
We'll swing things over to the Green Bay Packers. There are two ways to look at the Packers' 11-6 third-place finish in 2024. As an indictment of young quarterback Jordan Love's reliability, given his frequent bouts of bumps, bruises, and forced throws, or as evidence, Green Bay is bound for big things once everyone is healthy, Love included, and I am more of the latter opinion. Love may well have an inner Brett Favre that he cannot shake. I mean, I hate that comparison, but a guy that waited his turn and is now here and is, I think, due for a big season this year. And I love Matt LaFleur. And the fact that this is only year 3 of Jordan Love, despite all the experience he has in the league, I think is very valuable, in particular with the same coach. Like, there's another couple of guys in this division that have had multiple different coaches. Caleb Williams, a guy we'll talk about here in a little bit, is going to be on a second coach in as many seasons. So I like that he waited his turn with the same coordinator, the same coach, and is now entering year 3. And year 3 is usually when you start to see those big jumps as a guy that has been in that system for a little bit and understands everything much better. So I'm going to take the over here. I like this Packers team. I think if they are able to stay healthy, if Jordan Love is able to play, I don't know, it's just something. He's got this moxie to him that I just kind of attached to.
Good word for it.
I just kind of attached to him. And I think this is a Packers team that wins 10 games. I know this is a great division, and it's going to be hard for me to not take the over on every team in here, but I'm more confident on taking the over with the Packers than I am the Lions. The Lions have a tough schedule. The Packers, I think, have a more manageable schedule. Now, they're going to have to go up against a couple of these other teams in their own division, but if Jordan Love is healthy, I think this Packers team is able to exceed 10 wins, and you're only getting -115 odds on VIP play. I'm totally fine with taking that. So I'm going to take the over 9.5, -115 on VIP play. Full year, year 3, Jordan Love as a starter. I'm all in for it. Give me the Packers.
Took the words right out of my mouth, William. I've been a big Jordan Love fan since day one. Really have the Packers know what they're doing at quarterback. They know how to, we look at some of these other franchises, might be talking about one here in a team or two. They just, this guy's drafted. He's starting week 1 every single time. Yeah. Packers bring them along. My only question with this team is the receiving core. I think Love, he has yet to have in the last 2 years that go-to wide receiver one. Christian Watson cannot stay on the field. Romeo Doubs, they draft Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed. Can one of these guys establish themselves as a clear-cut wide receiver one? They're a bunch of wide receiver 3s and solid number 2s. They need that alpha male in the room. I like Tucker Kraft at tight end. It's a really good offensive line. They bring in Aaron Banks from San Francisco. They're going to keep Love upright. Josh Jacobs continues to just churn out. To me, he's like a diet Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I was thinking that in my head.
He churns out 1,300-yard seasons year in, year out. Very consistent, solid pass catcher. The defense, people would say, oh, they lost Jair Alexander. Well, he didn't play 90% of the, down the stretch for them last year. They were totally fine without him. Yeah, they took a little bit of a step back last year. I think that was the league adjusting to Jordan Love. Do I think he's maybe the guy that he was rookie year that lit the world on fire? No, but I also don't think he's the guy last year that the league adjusted to. I think it's somewhere in between. He's going to adjust back. Matt LaFleur, similar to coach of the Vikings we'll be talking about here, I just kind of blindly trust when it comes to the offensive side of the ball and quarterbacking. I mean, he made Malik Willis look like an NFL caliber quarterback for a couple of weeks last year. That's all you need to say. So I'm really high on this team. I don't see them being worse than they were last year, and to me that means they're going to get to 10-plus wins. I know the division's tough, but they'll be competitive in this division. This is not a roster to me that's much different than Detroit's. I think they have the better quarterback, arguably. Really high on this Packers team. I think Jordan Love is going to take that next step that we expected him to take last year. I think he takes it this year. This is a team that, for me, I think is very dangerous and a bona fide Super Bowl contender.
Jeremy?
Yeah, for me, easily take the over with this. Easily take the over. What I alluded to earlier, I'm probably a little bit more high on the receiving core than what my friend Max is over here, because for me, what I'm seeing is you've had a team that has grown together. with Jordan Love, with Romeo Dobbs, Christian Washington, and now you bring in the Matthew Golden, you bring in McCole Hardman, then you also bring in Savion Williams. I mean, what I was alluding to earlier is that I think this is the blueprint that they're trying to recreate with their Super Bowl run. You had an Aaron Rodgers who was like in his second, third year starting, probably 4 or 5 years in the league, but his second, third year starting. But he had a litany of receivers. You had a Greg Jennings, you had a James Jones, you had a Donald Driver, you had a young Jordy Nelson. So, and so you're talking about matchup problems all over the field. I mean, you can't just play one-on-one coverage, or you can't just sit in a too high safety look, or you just can't sit in a cover one robber look with this team, because there are just mismatches all over the field. So you're talking about a super young receiving core, speed everywhere. You at least have 3 to 4 receivers with experience already in the NFL. So I think that this team has a chance to catch fire. And looking at their schedule is a very up and down type of schedule. And what I mean by that is that you gotta bring your A game this week. Then you probably have a sub 500 team, another playoff team this week, sub 500. So they got to navigate the emotions of this season, because each week is like, you're playing somebody hard, you're playing somebody kind of easy. So with them having the type of schedule that they do, and I think the talent that they have around Jordy Nelson, Jordan Love, sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
Sorry about that. I think that this team can catch fire. I mean, of course, the injury bug, you hope it doesn't bite them, but I think this is a team that no matter when they catch fire, I think they can keep that same consistency of play late into a playoff push.
Yeah, I like that. A good comparison there to those early successful Packers teams. Maybe Jordan Love and company will have some similar fate this upcoming season. Now we'll switch over to the second half of the NFC North. But before we do that, let me tell you a little bit more about VIP Play. If you're a Tennessee football fan out there, there is no reason why you should not be betting on VIP Play. Because right now, all 12 games in the regular season are on VIP Play and ready to bet on. Use the code FANRUN, that is FANRUN in all caps, to claim those bonus bets. You'll get $100 instantly. There's no reason why you shouldn't. So if you like Tennessee right now against Syracuse, go ahead and do it. If you think there's some good value with the Volunteers traveling to Alabama at a plus number, you want to get it now, go ahead and do it with VIP Play. FanRun, code FANRUN, all caps FANRUN. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. All right, the Chicago Bears. 2 really interesting teams coming up here. And again, I think it's one of the most compelling divisions in the NFL. On one hand, the Bears have an indisputably better group this upcoming season for Caleb Williams. You bring in all-pro guard Joe Thuney. You have guys alongside DJ Moore and Rome Odunze and Luther Burden. Odunze in year 2. Burden out of Missouri. Very well could have been a first-round pick if he had a little bit more of a consistent season last year. A first-round talent, I guess is what I'm trying to draw to. And you've got Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, man, one of the best. I love what Ben Johnson did for the Lions. In terms of offensive minds, there are not many better in the NFL. So that's the good. The bad is that the schedule does Chicago no favors. The Bears have one of the toughest slates in 2025. You've got road dates with the Ravens and Bengals and Eagles, and we've also, yet to see Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson together. I mentioned it in the opening monologue. Caleb Williams, a really, really good talent, but is now on his second coach in as many seasons. He's a backyard football player, a guy that's very crafty, can extend plays, but Ben Johnson's a lot more scripted and a little bit more structured. How does that marriage work early on? I think the Bears will be good long-term, especially with this young core, but right now, I lean under at -134 on VIP Play. It's intriguing to take +110 for the over, but I'm going to lean under -134 here because I believe this is about an 8-win team. And it's crazy how Vegas just knows this stuff. Like, I would project Chicago's about an 8 or 9 win team next year. And you've got to choose which side you want to be on. I'm going to choose the under because this is a strong division, and I think the Bears are probably going to be the lesser of all the other teams just because there's a lot of newness. So I'm going to lean under here at -134. I do think Ben Johnson will do a good job. I don't love everything they have defensively, and I think there are going to be some growing pains early on, and that schedule especially those road games. I mean, you might as well chalk up Ravens and Bengals and Eagles already being 3 losses on their schedule. I go under here. Max, what do you say?
Yeah, I'm going under as well. I'm not a huge Caleb Williams guy. I think Ben Johnson is going to try and get the best out of him. We're going to learn a lot about Caleb Williams this season. I think Ben Johnson, like you alluded to, is one of the best offensive minds the league has. If he can't unlock Williams, I don't know if people can. I just think for him, a lot of the stuff isn't necessarily coachable, some of the flaws I saw for him last year. Now, it did him no favors that he had a bad offensive line. I think that made him skittish. And then at times when he didn't have pressure, he felt pressure because of his O-line problems, and it caused him to make poor decisions, bad throws, inaccurate down the field, even though there wasn't actual pressure. He just felt it because that's what he'd been used to. So can the O-line, an improved O-line this year, I mean, the bar is so low, you'd think it has to improve. Could that possibly help him with some of that natural skittishness I saw from him down the stretch last year? If it can, and you couple that with Ben Johnson, sure, this could be a solid team. But for me in this division, I think I trust this quarterback the least of the 4 in the division. I don't love the roster. I like the Joe Tooney signing. It's an overhauled offensive line. How will that look? Colston Loveland, to me, was a weird first-round pick. I didn't think it was a position of need for them, and I'm not sure how that gets them closer.
Sure.
Obviously, though, Ben Johnson has a history with drafting Sam Laporta, TJ Hawkinson. Yeah. He likes them. The receiver room is still a little up in the air to me as well. Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, they're okay. But in this division, I think—
You think DJ Moore is okay?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I think his better years are behind him as well.
Okay, wow.
I think in this division, you need a little better than that. And some of the defensive signings, I don't think, they paid Tremaine Edmonds a lot of money from Buffalo. He has not been worth that contract. Montez Sweat was kind of underwhelming last year as well. There's a lot of questions for me, and I do think Ben Johnson will have the stability here that Matt Eberflus didn't. I think he will raise the floor. To me, they're still a year or two away. If they were in the NFC South, I think they'd have a clear path to being an above 500 team in this division, and then playing the AFC North in the out of league play. I don't see a path to 9 wins unless Caleb Williams just takes a massive step that I don't anticipate. So for me, it's under 8.5. I'd be surprised if they get above 7 wins.
Okay, Jeremy.
Yeah, once again, I know it sucks, but we're in agreement. Yeah, I don't see them really getting to 10 wins, hardly even 9 wins. For a lot of reasons that you all have already spoke on, with the newness of the marriage between Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. How well would Caleb receive the information that Ben Johnson is trying to give to him? How patient will he be to let things develop? Because as you said, Ben Johnson is the type of coach that he likes for things to be on time. You have to let something clear to open up something else. That's kind of the nooks and crannies of his offense, without being too in depth. But to speak on something that Max brought up, he thought the Colston pick in the first round was a little bit weird. To know Ben Johnson is to know that he likes 2 tight end sets, a lot of block and release, and then you go there into your routes, a lot of 12 personnel with things like that. So a lot of zone blocking with the tight ends and things like that. And Colston, he still has the skill set that you view him more as a receiver.
Yeah, good
more
point.
so than inline blocking tight end, like a traditional tight end. So hopefully his skill set would end up being a mismatch problem. I'm quite sure that's kind of what he's hoping for. So therefore, he's probably going to come in and hopefully to try to be a safety valve for Caleb. If he's not being able to see what he needs to downfield, then hopefully Colston will be able to work the inside game for him. But even with that being said, there's going to be a lot of more growing pains. I mean, yes, Caleb entering year 2, but now, like you said, he has another coach, another voice in his head. He has to learn more offense. So that's the reason why they would be under.
Yeah, good analysis there, Max. Something to add?
Yeah, I think for me, part of the thing with the Colston Loveland pick was they took him over Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
I think Colston Loveland might be a better pure pass catcher than Tyler Warren, better athlete, but Tyler Warren does a lot more as a Swiss Army knife. You saw that. Better blocker, more physical player. I get it. I'm not going to doubt Ben Johnson. They're both first-round grade tight ends, but I was a little skittish when I saw that. And then
I wasn't. As a Colts fan, it was lovely. I know. To say as a Colts, I was happy.
Okay, that's okay. I thought you were disagreeing. Okay, that's why he's happy. Okay, I get it now.
And then two other things I just want to hit on that I missed in my initial point. I liked the pick of Luther Burden, though. I think this is a guy that could be established wide receiver 3 for this team. I was surprised he fell as far as he did in the draft process. Yeah. And then secondly, the running back room for me leaves a lot to be desired as well.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift, he was good a few years ago. He's never really been the player we thought he was. Roshan Johnson's nothing. They take Kyle Monungai around 7. To me, a young quarterback, you want to try and have a running back to help him out. That's another pitfall of this roster, I think. And yeah, I just feel like it's a year or two away. To me, when I'm looking for in a year or two quarterback to take that step, we were kind of talking about it with some of the other teams prior. Were they, like with the Panthers, did they lose a lot of close games that you feel, okay, next year, a little more veteran, they could maybe flip that loss into a win? The Bears weren't quite that competitive last year. It was a lot of blowout losses. So that's why I think this year might be that year where you see them win 7 games, but they lose 3 or 4 to good teams by 1 or 2 possessions, and then 2026 is the year.
Yeah, a couple of those wins for the Bears too were more so what the opposing team did. Turning
like
the ball.
Packers win where
Packers win. Hell, I mean the Titans game, they were down double digits to Will Levis and the Titans, and then Will Levis started, rolling the football to the opposing team, and then things change up. But
hot potato.
Yeah, Colston Loveland I was not a huge fan of him at Michigan personally. I thought Tyler Warren was the much better tight end prospect, but I do see what you're saying. The 12 personnel, Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland. Mm-hmm. Loveland more of the wide receiver type. I don't want to say Kyle Pitts, but kind of more that lengthy guy that you can maybe put outside.
Evan Ingram.
Yeah. Evan Ingram, a good comparison, but good points from both of you guys. We'll switch it up now to the final team in this division that we've yet to cover, the Minnesota Vikings, and another very intriguing team this upcoming season. There might not be a more interesting franchise in the entire NFL right now than Minnesota. Kevin O'Connell is one of the league's finest leaders, maximizing every face he has at quarterback, whether it be Sam Darnold or, Joshua Dobbs came in and won some games for this team. Kirk Cousins a couple of years ago. Kevin O'Connell, like Max has said multiple times on here, he finds a way to have success no matter who's playing quarterback. And when you've got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, those are 2 really good weapons to have for a young quarterback in J.J. McCarthy that will be taking over. So if Sam Darnold could get 14 wins last season, I'm sure that J.J. McCarthy is not going to be, 6 losses worse, 5 losses worse. I think the over 9.5 is definitely something to think about here at plus 110 on VIP play. I'm not willing to take the under 9.5 at minus 134. So a lot about value here, because if you get into a situation where you're heading into week 18 where the Vikings have 9 wins, they're kind of fighting for a wild card spot. If you've already got them at plus 110 to win the game, you can maybe find some extra value there and a hedge out opportunity, whatever it may be. So I'm going to take the over 9.5 here. I trust Kevin O'Connell. If you guys haven't picked up on the theme, I love my offensive-minded coordinators and coaches that I think that can develop their quarterback. And J.J. McCarthy basically had a redshirt season last year, had the opportunity to learn the offense, get adjusted to what life is like in the NFL. I think he'll be just fine this season. And I do like pieces they have defensively. I think the offensive line needs a little bit of critique. And you saw that at times last year, especially in the wild card game when the Rams just opened up the floodgates against them. But how much of that was Sam Darnold holding on to the football too long? There might be some adjustments with J.J. McCarthy now quarterbacking this group. So I'm going to take the plus 110 here. I'm going to go over 9.5 for the Vikings.
Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite overs, I think, on the whole board for the NFL this year. I wasn't a diehard J.J. McCarthy guy, but when I saw that Kevin O'Connell took him, I just trust Kevin O'Connell. We just mentioned the track record he has. If he identified this guy as the guy he won in that class, I believe they traded up for him as well, then I believe that he knows what he's doing with J.J. McCarthy. And for him to get a year to learn as well behind a veteran like Sam Darnold can only help. It's not going to hurt you. Justin Jefferson, to me, the best receiver in the NFL. That is obviously a great situation for a rookie. I mean, how often do you see a rookie, de facto rookie quarterback come into a team that won 14 games last year? That's what he's inheriting right now. And They didn't have a ton of draft picks, but I thought they did a good job of upgrading their roster in spite of that. The two places that they need to get better, I thought, was in the trenches on both sides of the ball. They draft Donovan Jackson in the first round of Ohio State. He's going to slide in to play guard. They sign Ryan Kelly from your Colts, really good, underrated center. Bring in Will Fries, another guard from Indianapolis. So they knew the interior of their offensive line last year, especially the interior, was a weak point. So they upgraded it. They spent draft capital and free agent capital to upgrade that. That, to me, is a huge win for them. That's no longer a weakness. It might be a strength now. Defensively, they signed Javon Hargrave, one of the best run defenders in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's going to play right up the middle. They had a huge weakness there last year. They couldn't stop the run that efficiently. They swap out Jerry Tillery and Jonathan Bullard for Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave. That's about as big an upgrade as you can get in one position group. Secondary still is a little weak, but to me, the front is so good. Andrew Van Ginkel, another really good pass rusher, came on strong last year. I really like. They knew where they were weak. They knew they didn't have draft capital to address it, so they let the guys walk, spent a little more money, and upgraded places that were weaknesses into strengths. Really like this roster. Kevin O'Connell churns out double-digit win seasons. I mean, I'm trying to think of a terrible quarterback in the end. Mac Jones could be playing quarterback.
Oh, there we go.
And he'd win 10 games with him. I mean, he's just that good. I believe in him. To me, he's a Shanahan-type guy like that.
Yeah.
My only concern with this team would be, what are you doing at running back? Aaron Jones, how much he started off and then he kind of ran out of gas at the end of the year. Jordan Mason, I was not overly impressed with him in San Francisco, but I think there's enough. They overcame it last year. I think J.J. McCarthy, also an underrated aspect for me, much better athlete than any quarterback he's really had. He had Dobbs for a few games. How does he incorporate McCarthy's athleticism and speed into this offense? That'll be fun for me to watch as well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Max hit basically on every point that I was going to hit on the additions that they have. They've had basically an A+ off season. So what I will speak on is that this isn't as clear cut as it is for you all with the over.
Okay.
I'm going to pick the over, but I'm going to be shaky picking the over. The only reason, because the faith that you all have in Kevin O'Connell, it is valid, but I still think that there will be rookie moments with JJ this season, steals. And so you couple that along with Kevin O'Connell's coaching and the star-studded cast that they have around them, I still think that they could get to 10 wins, but I would not be surprised if it's 9 and they're somewhere between a 5, maybe 6 seed, needing a late win, somebody to lose late in the season in order for them to get in just this season. And then next year is when they would possibly explode and maybe recapture the magic of last season. But even with that being said, I think what we'll see this season out of them is kind of what you saw the Rams do, what Sean McVay did with Jared Goff in their Super Bowl run, when you have McVay trying to talk down to the 15-second mark in the helmet with Goff, trying to let him know where he may need to go with the ball. I think you may see some of that because you don't want to waste this roster. I mean, this is a talented roster, almost top to bottom now, with the additions that they have on both sides of the line. You don't want to lose the momentum that you have. So I think there would be a struggle. You will see a struggle of how much rope do we give McCarthy and how much do we take away from him.
Yeah.
And so trying to navigate that thought process throughout the season, I think you'll end up seeing them maybe not be as dominant as they were last year.
All right, good analysis all the way around. When we come back, we'll talk about the to win the division futures. We'll take everything we just gathered and dump it out one more time. We'll be right back. Stay right here. It's Fan Run Radio on a Friday.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess. But isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah. They specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material. so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
Hey, Pack Rat. Yeah, you. Are you moving cross-country and you just don't know who to call? Call us right now. Listen, you've probably seen one of our containers in your neighborhood, but did you know that we can help you move anywhere in the United States? It's real simple. We'll drop a container off at the location you tell us to bring it to. You pack up your valuable possessions at your leisure. They stay safe right in your home. And when you're ready, call us. We'll come and pick up the container and give you a scheduled date of when your furniture and the other possessions will be at your new home. So if you're moving across country or across town, be a Pack Rat. Join the Pack Rat family. Call Pack Rat right now for your free quote. See y'all later, Pack Rats.
Call 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. That's 800-965-1298.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Ready to launch your career? Axle Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axle proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axle, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axle Logistics is the place to start your career.
Charleston girl in a darkened room, and you don't know her like
All right, rounding out a Friday edition of the Slate presented by VIP Play. We do apologize for the delay. All right, real quick, to win the division, futures, I'm taking the Packers at plus 260. All of these teams are at plus money, which I think is good value for really any of them, as they're all going to be really competitive teams and have the opportunity to win it. But I like the Packers at plus 260, especially if Jordan Love's able to stay healthy throughout the season. I'm back at Matt LaFleur and company. I think the Lions take a little bit of a step back.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with Minnesota here. I was between Green Bay and Minnesota. I think both of them are good value as well. I think it's really a coin flip between those two. Just the more I looked at Minnesota's offseason moves throughout the hour, I really liked where they upgraded. Like I said, their biggest weaknesses are now, to me, strengths. I think J.J. McCarthy does enough with Kevin O'Connell. I think, can they be an 11-win team? Yes. I think it's going to be a very top-heavy division where it's a bunch of 10, 11-win teams, but not that 13, 14-win team we saw last season. I like the juice at plus 375. It feels like there's always a team with a quarterback that's young that kind of surprises people and wins a division. I think of, Houston 2 years ago, some of these other teams. Minnesota last year with Sam Darnold. So for me, I like Minnesota plus 375. Kevin O'Connell and company. Keep it humming with J.J. McCarthy.
All right, Jeremy, round us out.
For me, give me the Packers. Basically for reasons that I spoke on earlier. I just think that you would see the Packers reminisce what they did back in 2011 with Aaron Rodgers and that slew of receivers that they had. I just love the pickup of Matthew Golden, bringing in McCole Hardman. And then you already got Romeo Doubs and Christian Watkins there. So I'm looking for them to be, of course, offensive led. I mean, just like you always come to expect from them. But I think this is their year to actually show what they will be for the next, 6 to 8 years.
All right, good stuff. That's going to wrap it up for a Friday edition of the Slate presented by VIP Play. Make sure you use the code FANRUN to claim $100 in bonus bets. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. Stay right here on Fan Run Radio. Overtime coming up next.
You can't find the words to say all the things that come to you, and I want.
You're locked onto Fan Run Radio, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and online.